Are you ready to break through any barrier or limiting belief holding you back? Ready to embrace your full potential and achieve your greatest success? Ready to get noticed and become the champion you were born to be? Then buckle up, because you've come to the right place. Greetings, champions. Master Coach Rich Grogan here. Hope you're having a fantastic day and Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Yes. Well, first of all, thank you so very much for all the love and support in 2024. Hopefully, let's carry that over and amplify it, magnify it here in 2025. So a special thank you to all of you, the thousands of listeners, subscribers that show up each and every week. Continue to share, continue to like, subscribe, all those good things. I love your comments, and it really empowers me to keep doing what I'm doing. So thank you so very much. And for our new friends, Happy New Year to you as well. And I'll tell you, what are you here for? Well, hopefully you're here for what I'm going to try and do for you. And my whole goal, my whole mission and purpose is to be the mentor, the guide, the leader that I always desperately wanted and needed in my life. Someone to tell me the things that maybe I didn't want to hear but needed to hear to help me become my very best. To help me become the leader, hero, champion that I was born to be. Just like you. You're born to be a leader, a hero, and a champion. You just need that mentor, that guide to help get you there. And I promise, I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to share stories that I've shared in hockey locker rooms, now on the martial arts mat, on stage in front of leaders and entrepreneurs that I'm blessed to say that I've empowered thousands upon thousands to become the champion they were born to be. And I'm going to do the same for you. So, Happy New Year. Welcome to the new year, and let's get this baby going. Well, this is episode number 388, and I titled this episode 2025, the new year. New year, this is your year to step up, stand out, and lead with warrior confidence. Question is, can you do it? Absolutely you can. But the bigger question is, are you going to do it? Well, I'll tell you, listening to podcasts like this, I'm going to share as much empowerment and inspiration and motivation as I can to get you there, to get to that next level, whatever that may be. If you're a hockey player, you wanting more ice time, and kind of it's universal. My book back here, you haven't picked up a copy, it's available now, How to Get More Ice Time. It's a universal principle, and that principle is how do you get more of anything that you want in life? Well, it's actually simpler and easier than you think. The only bad thing is what's easy to do is also easy what? Not to do. But here's the universal principle. If you're willing to do the things that others aren't willing to do by standing out in the crowd, by being respectful, by working hard, by communicating like a leader, I mean, fairly simple things. Well, if it's so simple, why aren't others doing it? I don't know. That's a mystery to me as well. But I'm telling you, now is the time to stand out. Like I have people ask all the time, hey, how do you do that podcast? Well, you get a microphone, get a camera, and do it. And you don't need all the fancy stuff to start off. This is episode, like I said, 388. And now between my two YouTube channels, the Real Rich Grogan Warrior Confidence Hockey channel, and then the other one, the Martial Arts Academy that we owned for almost 30 years. My goodness, I don't know, 1,500 videos, I guess. But guess what? It started with one. And I'm not saying that to brag or to boast. I'm just telling you, look, if this guy can do it, so can you. But you got to get to 1 and 2 done before you can get to 388 or 1,500 or whatever it is. Which, by the way, if you're not following across social media at Real Rich Grogan, what are you waiting on? Let's go. Get on it every day, posting some kind of empowerment to help you become your very, very best. Now, the goal with this, like I said, is to help you become the hero, leader, and champion you're born to be. And my listeners, usually athletes, hockey players, those aspiring to be better, I know that most teenagers don't listen to this. So if you're a coach, parent listening to this, and you know your teenager could get value out of this, if they're wanting more ice time, more playing time, wanting more success in life, like I said, that's kind of the universal principle, man, they need to listen to this, okay? I mean, and I talk just like I'm talking right now, talking right to you to help you become your best. So as we dive into 2025, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about, one, your successes from 2024, because we're going to build on that. We're going to use that momentum to carry us forward. And then you're going to think about and focus on areas that maybe, you didn't accomplish, or those goals you didn't reach, or maybe you didn't set any goals at all. Well, we're going to talk about that and talk about how to get you there. Now, some of the goals that I kind of set for myself, and I'm very happy to share with you, got my book done, How to Get More Ice Time, got my program done. But how that started was a pretty big shift. Shifting over from trying to talk to everyone. And here's a secret, those that are out, the leaders in the world and the entrepreneurs, even the hockey players, everybody else. If you try to be everything to everyone, if you try to be a quote, quote, jack of all trades, and there's nothing wrong with that, but your message has to be fine tuned into one niche. So, or niche. Everybody has a different way of saying the word. And I was told by a mentor, the riches are in the niches. That's not all about making money, but you got to have money in order to pay the bills. And in order to be successful, you got to niche down. That's what I've done. So instead of trying to talk to everybody, even though the podcast kind of does, my main focus is on empowering hockey players, empowering athletes. So before you before you click the off button, you can get something out of this message too. So focusing in, I was able to down. That was a big success for me because my greatest strength, which can also be my greatest weakness, is a creative mind. A lot of thought, always a lot of thoughts going on. Anybody out there like that? I mean, it can be a gift, but it can also be a curse. One of the hardest things I have a hard time with is focusing, narrowing things down, staying on track. That's why I've got pages and pages of notes from a podcast that I didn't used to have. I used to just wing these things kind of off the cuff. But I realize your time is valuable, so I want to make sure that I don't waste your time by drifting off. Not that it wasn't important before, but I need to stay focused. Saying that, I need to get back to what we're talking about here. So before we dive into the 3 Warrior Confidence tips, I want to share with you how we ended 2024. It was a hockey tournament up in the Florida area here, up at, a place called Wesley Chapel. So if you're here in the Florida area and you're a hockey player or you're a parent, you've probably played up there before. So I'm blessed because I get to coach 3 different hockey teams, this hybrid kind of travel team. It's called the Ice Force. That's the group, fantastic organization. Also, one of the coaches for the Palmetto varsity team and the Palmetto/Sarasota, we combine the teams, JV team. So that's fantastic. You get an opportunity to do that. Well, the tournament, at the end of the year, right before the new year, and this is the second tournament we've been in with the Ice Force team. The first tournament, we actually took 3rd place. Not bad, but that wasn't what we were hoping for. So we got to work, got to practice, worked on a few different things, obviously incorporated all the drills and skills and mindset philosophies and warrior confidence tips, developing that mindset of a champion, that work ethic of an underdog, that attitude of excellence, everything I talk about that's in my book. Hint. Pick up a copy. It's available on Amazon. Direct link in the description box. I implemented all those strategies. Now, it's one thing for me to talk. It's one thing for me to empower and inspire and motivate. That's what I do. But I can't do the work for you. I can't do the work for the players. And that's what I tell them. Exactly like that. So, guys, I'm going to pour into you everything I've got. I'm going to motivate you. I'm going to inspire you. I'm going to get on to you when you need to be getting on to. Because I'm never going to lie to kids. You know, if they haven't done their very, very best, I'm not going to beat them down and belittle them. But I'm going to let them know, hey, we can do better. I know you can do better. And I'll share kind of that speech I gave right before the championship game that, well, I'm going to tell you, do we win the championship or not? I'll save that. If you've been following me online, you know the answer already. But anyway, the tournament prior to this, we took 3rd. So going to this tournament, I was like, guys, that was no fun. All right, 3rd's better than 4th. Yes, better than 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, on down the line there. But we can do better. We've got more talent. We just need to dig a little bit deeper. So the speech I gave them going into the championship game, yes, we made it to the championship. We were 4-0 in the tournament, so we had the first seed in the championship, playing the team that knocked us out of the semifinals. Well, I guess that was 2 or 3 months ago, during over Thanksgiving. They knocked us out. A team called the Bull Sharks. And the Bull Sharks, this is my first go-around with this hybrid travel team. Been a few other travel teams before, but the Bull Sharks up and down the organization. The 10U, 12U, 14, 16U, all the way through. They're like the ones to beat. They are the champions. They're the reigning champions. As a matter of fact, all the age groups, the tournament and Thanksgiving, they won. And this tournament thus far, they had won as well. All the other age groups. We were the last ones to go. We got the Bull Sharks. We're 4-0. We're going in there with some momentum. In the locker room, I tell the boys, listen, we have worked our butts off 4 games in this tournament. We have earned the right to be here. The Bulldogs, who knocked us out last time, they've got a mindset that, hey, we're easy to beat. We beat them before. We can beat them again. So we can go in there afraid and scared. We can go in there playing intimidated, or we can play our type of hockey. Our type of hockey is grit, resilient, determination, meaning you're going into every puck battle in the corners, front of the net, Your determination, your mindset, your champion's mindset is, I'm winning that battle. I am coming out of here with this puck. In front of the net, I'm burying this puck. I'm scoring a goal. If not, I'm at least getting a shot on net, and hopefully it's going to create a nice, juicy rebound. That's the mindset, to go out, win every shift, win every period, and win the game. Now, does that mean you're going to win every shift, every period, every game? Does that mean you're going to win everything in life? No. But I promise you, with that mindset and attitude, you're going to win far more than you lose. And if you lose, you have a setback, just like we did back in Thanksgiving, you can use that as momentum, as fuel. Learn from your mistakes and move forward. Here's another thing I shared with him. There's 3 types of people in the world, 3 types of hockey players. Those that make things happen. They're out there busting their tail. They're out there with the grit, the passion, the resilience. They're making things happen. Then there's a second group of hockey players, those that stand around and watch things happen, watch others do the things. Hopefully, while they're watching, they're learning, but they're not the doers. They're the watchers. And then there's that third group. That third group is the ones that say, hey, what the heck just happened here? So I ask you, just like I asked them, what are you going to be? Are you going to be the players that make things happen, watch things happen, and watch that championship drift away? Or are you going to be the set that said, man, we just lost again. What the heck happened here? Be the ones that make things happen. Get out there. So, championship game, we jump out early, baby. Yes. And that's the whole thing. You know, hockey coaches, you know that. It's much, much easier to play with the lead than it is to play from behind. Like anything in life. Man, you want to be dominant. You want to get out there and take charge. Now, a big reason it's easier to play with the lead, takes a little bit of pressure off. You got that first goal. Now that other team's stressing and panicking, which means they're going to start taking unnecessary risk. And when they take risk, what happens? Bang. Turn the puck over in the neutral zone. We took it in. Boom. Now we're up 2-0. Yes! But that team, they didn't become the champions by just rolling over and playing dead. Right after we scored that second goal, before we knew it, puck was in our zone and then in the back of our net. Now it's 2-1. Second period, we scored, make it 3-1. Goes into the third period. We score right off the bat, making it 4-1. Here's the thing. Coaching. 3-goal lead is the hardest lead in hockey to hold because players suddenly start getting a little complacent. They stop being aggressive. Now, you want to be smart. You don't want to you're not playing like you're behind. You're playing with the lead, but you're not getting so conservative and so relaxed and so complacent that you give up the lead. You know, in football, they call it the prevent defense. I like to say it's to prevent you from winning defense. Well, we got a little complacent every time they'd come to the bench. Boys, play your game. Play your game. We got to clog the neutral zone. We got to dump and chase, make them go 200 feet. Bad line change. Before we know it, it's 4-2. 4 minutes left in the game, 4-3. Oh, my gosh. What in the world's happening here? Well, it's a battle from here on out. We get a couple questionable calls against us. Now, being a referee, I'm a referee. I took my referee certification. It's tough. I get it. But some of these calls, I'm like, late in the game with under 2 minutes to play, we got a delay of the game penalty. Player was holding the puck along the boards, and he wasn't being pressured, so he just kind of stand there waiting for players to come. Well, the ref said he wasn't moving the puck. Now, in all the years, I don't know that I've ever seen that call before. It was very suspect. Anyway, what we're going to do, I briefly asked the ref, really, you're going to make that call this stage of the game? So he goes, no more. Anyway. So they hand the puck in. They pull their goalie. They got a 6-on-4. There's a battle in front of the net. We chip the puck out. Think, all right, we're going to eat the clock. We're going to kill the clock. But then we get called for a cross-checking penalty in the crease. You got 2 players battling in the crease, and they chose to call a cross-checking penalty on us. Now, refs make their calls. Things happen. I get that. And I'm never one to blame the officials for a win or a loss. You got to learn to battle through, overcome, succeed. So what happens? The boys are like, oh, man, the refs. I said, we're gonna battle through. We're going to win this thing. We are not blaming the refs. We had plenty of opportunities to score more goals. We didn't do it. So now we got to deal with what we got. And what we had was a 6-on-3 disadvantage because they had pulled their goalie. 21 seconds left in the game. Call a timeout. Bring them over. Draw up the play. Exactly what we want. If we win the face-off, this is what we're doing. If we lose the face-off, this is what we're doing. Well, we lost the face-off, and the Bull Sharks played it near perfectly. Guy pulled it back between his legs. The guy behind him slid it over the far defenseman. The 2 guys in front, or the center and the winger that pulled it over, went right dead in front of the net to create a double screen. The defenseman lets the shot go, deflected. Emmett, my son, the goalie, out top of the crease. I was really proud of him. Makes a save on a double deflection, and the puck's laying there. Those two pounce on it, and he poke checks it to the corner. Our defenseman picks it up and runs out the clock. We won the championship. Yes! It was the only team of the Bull Sharks that lost the championship during that tournament weekend. So I was pretty pumped, pretty excited, and I wanted to share that story with you. There's so many elements of that story that we can take away from. It would have been very easy just to, if we would have lost, we'd lost last time. So I use that as motivation. Guys, they came back because we were winning that game too, and they came back and literally took it from us. I mean, it happens. Ebb and flow of the game, right? Ebb and flow of life. We could have got caught up on the calls that were questionable by the referee, but that wouldn't have changed things. We had to focus on what we came there to do, and that's to win the championship. And I'm so proud of the boys for doing it. So what do you get out of that message? You're going to have your ups and downs in life. You're going to have calls and things that go against you. It isn't always going to go your way. You're going to, and I have people ask a lot. Please ask your questions, but also know that, man, I'm a human being too, and I have lost far more than I've succeeded or won. But it's in those failures, it's in those losses, it's in those challenges, those setbacks that I've grown. I've learned how to overcome, to battle through, and succeed. So I've had multiple failures, and I kind of tee that up for you because I get people that ask, you talk about being a champion, how do you know what it feels like to be me? I just can't win. I just fail all the time. Look, I'm not getting a comparison war here, but the amount of failures and bankruptcies and setbacks and rejections and teams I've been cut from, yeah, in my life is my life. I've had to learn to battle through and overcome and succeed, but I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. I don't know what you've gone through. And another thing I told the boys is after, I forgot when I brought this up, but about a pity party. Had a couple of them whining about, ref's not making this call. Every time they come to the bench, I said, look, we can have pity parties all day long, and all we're going to end up getting is more pity. Or we can knuckle down, we can toughen up, and we can win this championship, and we ain't got to worry about the pity anymore. And I promise, you win the championship, all those missed calls that you say by the officials aren't going to mean a thing. But if you continue to focus on the missed calls by the officials, that's what you're going to be talking about on the way home as a runner-up instead of the champion that you were born to be. So there's a lesson right there for life. Yeah. All right, well, that gets right into our warrior confidence tips. And the first tip is to have the courage to step outside your comfort zone. And that is in every area of life. If you tend to complain a lot, if you tend to have pity parties a lot, man, have the courage to say, you know what? I'm better than that. Why? Because you are better than that. You're better than that. Everyone whines and complains. Everyone has a pity party. And like I told the players, the only thing that's good, tongue-tied here. The only thing that you get from a pity party is more pity. There's no party atmosphere. Man, I go to a party, I want some gifts. I want some fun. I don't want pity. No. A lot of times we bring that own pity on ourselves. Now, that's the way the world is. That's the way society is. But I'm telling you, and that's warrior confidence tip number one, have that courage to step outside your comfort zone. Have that courage to be the hero, leader, champion you were born to be. Have that courage to stop yourself if you start whining and complaining. Unfortunately, it's easier than ever to be negative, and it sometimes feels very difficult to be positive. I get that. Like I said, I'm a human being too. Those thoughts are in the head there. You know, every time I have a setback and a failure, and they happen often. They happen often. You know, I've worked so hard getting this program together, and, you know, a lot of the organizations I've approached, they haven't got back with me yet, right? And Thanksgiving weekend, we lost the tournament. You know, right before the holiday break for the varsity team. My son was in the nets. He got a start. We gave up a 4-goal lead at the varsity level. And I'm telling you, this varsity team is elite. It just happens. So what do? You learn from it. You grow from it. It's those lessons that help you prepare to be a champion. And something else I shared with the boys, look, when you become a champion, not if, but when. It doesn't mean you're always going to get a gold medal. Doesn't mean you're always going to win a trophy. But when you become a champion in your own life, that is something no one can ever take away from you. And for the boys in the championship weekend here, it was all about you are forever a champion. But more importantly than winning a medal or winning a trophy, winning first place, is learning that repeatable formula of what it took to become a champion and now apply that to anything and everything you do in life. Now, here's the thing about a champion. A champion is not someone who's never failed before. A champion is someone who's failed over and over and over again, but refuses to stay down, refuses to quit, refuses to give up. That is a champion because they've overcome their struggles, their troubles, their battles, their challenges, and they continue to rise up. That is what a true champion is, and it's a repeatable formula. Can you do it? Absolutely. Are you going to do it? That's a question you have to answer. So drop in the comments. I'm doing it. 2025 is my year. And if you're really bold enough, drop in the comments what's one big goal that you're going to accomplish. I didn't say try and accomplish or want to accomplish, that you're going to accomplish. Drop in the comments. I'll do my absolute very best to reply back to every single comment. And then I'm going to keep you honest, keep you moving forward with each episode. Why? Because it's what I wish someone would have done for me. Yeah. All right. So how do I learn all this stuff? From a lot of failures. All right. What's warrior confidence tip number 2? It is practice self-discipline by doing the small things daily. Now, we've got these huge goals, which is great. I mean, I'd rather you set just these, they're called BHAGs, if you ever heard that before. Big, hairy, audacious goals. Just mind-blowing goals. Set the big ones. Now, you may never reach those huge goals, or it may take you quite some time to reach those huge goals, but that's good. Because if you set little bitty small goals and you hit them, then you're done. Okay, I reached my goal. What do I do now? And a lot of people say, well, yeah, then you set another one. Then you set another one. I like setting the big, huge goals, and I'm going to share one with you. My goal is to connect with Bauer Hockey this year and have them start sponsoring the podcast. There it is. I've thrown it out to the universe. Is that a lofty goal? You darn right it is. Can I make it happen? You darn right I can. Will I make it happen? You darn right I will. This year, I hope. If not this year, then definitely next year. But how do I get there? Just like you set your big lofty goal. Well, now you got to set those small goals, those daily disciplines, and have that self-discipline to consistently drive for that goal. So what do I need to do? I need to make sure my book, get that in as many hands as possible, the How to Get More Ice Time book. I need to make sure my program gets in as many teams and organizations as it can. And then I need to get shout outs for those organizations. I need to work with those organizations and help them become champions on and off the ice. And that's the whole goal, right? I mean, not everybody's going to win a championship on the ice, but I want you to be a champion at heart and carry that championship mindset and work ethic and respect off the ice into your everyday life. Yeah. Can you do it? Once again, yes. Are you going to do it? So I got to get those organizations, and that's how you build those stair steps. So the big BHAG, if you will, big, hairy, audacious goal is way the heck up here. But take those small disciplinary steps to get there. So I'll share something with you. I was a personal trainer for I don't know how many years. I actually taught aerobics for years as well. I've got 4 exercise videos out called Kick to Get Fit. Used to have them here on my back wall, but now I've kind of went all with the hockey theme here. I would work with clients all the time, and they were goal to say it was to lose 20 pounds. Now, before I knew what I'm about to share with you, we'd go through the process, we'd work hard. I'd have to, self-discipline. You got to show up, and here's kind of a funny story. I don't know how many different times I would show a client how to do an exercise. And some of them, sometimes too many of them, would say, hey, could you show me how to do that exercise again? I'm like, okay, well, I'd go through it, show the proper technique, explain the reasoning for it, what muscle groups it's working. And I said, could you show me one more time? And it got to a point where I'm like, look, if you just want to pay me to watch me work out, man, that's great. But you do realize you actually have to do the work. You actually have to lift the weights. You actually have to do the exercises in order for you to actually see the results. Now, I know that sounds silly, but think about that. I can only tell you and help you and inspire and motivate you. You have to be the one to take action. Same thing I tell the hockey players. Look, I can give you all the rah-rah you want, but when you step on that ice, they won't let me play at your level. I'm not 16 anymore. Even if I shave and dyed my hair, I'm probably short enough to play. But somewhere along the line, I'd probably say, hey, wait a minute. Obviously, I'm being funny here, but it all boils down to the same point. You got to do it. You got to start by setting those big goals. You got to start by, what was the first one? Oh, yeah, having the courage to step outside your comfort zone. You can do it, man. You can do it. Are you going to? Yes. Do it for yourself. All right. Before we get into Warrior Confidence tip number 3, I want to briefly share, I mentioned the book. It's in the description box. Also, the Warrior Confidence, How to Get More Ice Time Hockey program. We got our masterclass video. It's only $9, man. It's a 45-minute masterclass video. It's a Q&A. back and forth and ask all kinds of different questions, starting with I debunk a lot of myths. A lot of myths are the coaches only play their favorites. It's all politics, and only the most talented get the ice time. I dive in, deep dive. I hit you with a right hook of reality of explaining a lot of those myths and debunking those myths. Now, these are the same myths that I used to believe when I was a lot younger. But I now see it from all sides. I see it as a player for over 50 years now, as a coach, as a parent, as a referee, as an organizational leader, as a business owner. So I see all those different sides. So I answer those questions from all those different sides. And the reality of things is coaches play their favorites, yes. The players, the favorites that give them the best chance to win. And in the program, in the book, I'm giving you those skills, those drills, those tips, those strategies to be that player that gets noticed, to be that player that stands out, to be that player that the coach says, man, I cannot not put this player on the ice. Every time they're on the ice, they make something happen. That's the player I want you to be. I mean, I got far more ice time than my short stature. I had some talent, but I definitely wasn't the most naturally talented and gifted. But somehow I got ice time. Somehow I got crucial game minutes. Somehow I was on the penalty kill, the power play, key game situations. Somehow I got the A and the C. And that somehow is because I did all the things I'm talking about in the book and the program to help myself stand out from the crowd to get noticed. Can you do it? Well, absolutely. If I did it, you definitely can do it. And the tools and strategies are there. All right. Well, moving on. Number 3, I want you to make a commitment to yourself and your loved ones that you're going to do this, that you're going to make 2025 the best year ever. I know that's such a cliche. 2024, best year ever. 2023, best year ever. And now Master Rich Grogan saying, make 2025 best year ever. Well, we can keep saying that stuff, but until we start doing something about it, nothing's going to change. If nothing changes, nothing changes. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, and what? Expecting a different result. Well, we're going to do stuff different. You're going to listen to this podcast. You're going to like, subscribe, ring that bell. You're going to buy my book, buy my program. Well, I'm telling you what to do, aren't I? Well, if you don't do all those things, I'd love for you to do those things. But at least for yourself, your confidence tip number 3, make a commitment that you're going to do it for you and your loved ones. And then your confidence tip number 2, you're going to set those and practice those small daily disciplines. It's not easy. I'm never going to lie to you and say it's easy. Something that always drives me nuts is when motivational speakers, or I should say in quotes here, motivational speakers always say, hey, with a positive attitude, you can do anything. That's a bunch of garbage. Like, whoa, wait a minute, what? I know, that's big right hook of reality. And those that are new to the show, right hook of reality is my hashtag. Please use it freely. With all the positive mental attitude you have, and I like this example I use all the time, Shaquille O'Neal, which was an outstanding rebounder in basketball, and he's great at boxing people out. He's like 7 foot tall, 300 and something pounds. Big man. Great basketball player. That was his gift. Well, maybe not free throws, but boxing people out, rebounding. But Shaquille O'Neal, at his frame, 7 foot something and 300 plus pounds, with all the positive mental attitude in the world, would not make a very good ballerina or horse jockey. How do I know that? Because his body type is not built for that. So I say, and then here's another example I like to give. I'm a pretty positive guy. I work hard. I mean, there's a lot of days when I'm that negative wolf in my head likes to chirp and talk and say, yeah, you failed again, didn't you? Oh, you didn't get that sale this time. Oh, this didn't work out. Why do you even do this? You ought to just give up. It's in there. I have to fight hard. So if you have to fight hard, I'm with you. I can connect. But for the most part, especially this is my sweet spot, my zone. This is what brings me the most happiness, is talking to you right there in that camera. And yeah, I can see you out there. And if you're not watching on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. If you're listening on a podcast app, thank you. Make sure you subscribe. And, if we've earned it, give us that 5-star review. But with all the positive mental attitude that I work hard to possess, you would not want me operating on you. That's just not my thing, man. So when I hear a speaker say, with positive mental attitude, you can do anything. The truth is, with a positive mental attitude, you can do anything better than you can with a negative mental attitude. So even though I have no surgical procedures at all, if the two of us are in a spot where, I don't know, an island someplace, and you're going to die, and the only hope is me doing my very best to operate on you to remove whatever, maybe you've got an abscessed tooth, or maybe you got I don't know, you punctured yourself and I got to try and stitch you up. Of course, I'm spitballing nonsense here. You would rather me say, you know what? I'm not a surgeon, but gosh darn it, I'm going to do my absolute very, very best. As opposed to having a negative mental attitude and just saying, you know what? I guess you're just going to die. So kind of took a long time to get to that story. Talk about drifting off the path. That is not in my notes. But positive mental attitude helps you do anything better than a negative mental attitude. And that's what I want to establish. You're going to have those negative thoughts. You're going to have those limiting beliefs. You're going to have that bully in your mind telling you you're not good enough. You're not strong enough. You failed before. But gosh darn it, you're going to stay committed. Why? Because you're a champion. That's why. Now you just got to, and it's not that you got to prove it to the world. Don't worry about the world. You prove it to who you are and do it for the right reasons. Why? Because you got a gift and the world needs you and it needs your gift. And if you want more ice time, you want more championships, you want to be the leader and hero you were born to be, and follow those 3 warrior confidence tips. And what were they again? Have the courage to step outside your comfort zone. Step out. Be different. You're already different. Now just utilize your uniqueness. And number 2, practice self-discipline and small daily actions. Every single day, do little bitty steps. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with what? 1 step, and then 2, and then 3, and so forth. And number 3, make a commitment to yourself and your loved ones that you're going to do it. This is going to be your year. Good enough? All right. Hey, back to our engagement question. What did you accomplish last year that was a big, big goal? And now what are you going to accomplish this year? And if you don't want to put it in the comments, what that goal is, just say 2025. And I'll know that means you are committed to following these 3 warrior confidence tips to make 2025 your best year ever. All right, everyone. Thank you so very much for listening and tuning in today. I'm truly, truly grateful. I know time is the most sacred commodity on the planet, and the fact that you spent time with me means the world to me. If you like what you heard, please share with someone that you know could benefit from this message. Please give us that 5-star review if we've earned it, and make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell. I love you. God loves you. Please share that love and share your gift with the world. And until we talk again, you get out there and do your best, and I promise you'll be your very best. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. Can't wait to read your comments. Can't wait to chat with you again real soon. God bless everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you so very much for being a part of the Warrior Confidence Unleashed podcast. I am truly grateful for your time. If you found value in this message, please kindly share it with someone else who could also benefit from it, especially teenagers and adult athletes and leaders who are serious about getting noticed, getting more playing time, and leadership roles. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share your comments with us. And we truly appreciate your 5-star reviews, as that helps spread the message even further. Stay connected with us throughout the week on all social media platforms at Real Rich Grogan. And visit our website at warriorconfidence.com for access to all our programs and books. The links are in the description box. Thank you again for your time, and I can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day. God bless. Parents, are you frustrated seeing your superstar sit on the bench, getting overlooked and passed over for ice time and leadership roles? I personally know that heartbreaking pain. Well, that frustration ends today. Introducing our How to Get More Ice Time program, the amazing one-of-a-kind program for youth and teenage hockey players that helps them get what they want most, more playing time and more opportunities. And today, exclusive offer, we're selling this thing for only $9. $9. It's a no-brainer. But you got to act now, because this offer won't last. And if you don't do anything, nothing's going to change. So go to warriorconfidence.com. That's warriorconfidence.com, or simply click on the link in the description box. Buy the program today and help your child get what they want most, more ice time.